back to the Spoilercast, the podcast where we talk about movies, and we don't really care about spoiling them because, well, it's the Spoilercast. My name is Tobias. I run this show, and with me, as always, is my sister and trusty co-host Rebecca. And once again, there we go. Say hello to the audience.
Hello.
Hello. This week is another request episode. One of our esteemed patrons over on Patreon requested this movie, and the movie we're going to talk about is Don't Let the Devil In. And if you want to request the movie in the future, just head on over to our Patreon page, where you can support us for as little as $1 a month, and it'll help us pay for server fees and equipment and
movie tickets.
Hopefully in the future, movie tickets if we ever get back to the theaters. But for $3 a month, you can of course listen to the exclusive episode every week, where we take more of a deep dive into the concept of the movie we talk about on the Thursdays. And of course you get to also request movies, which we will do, as long as it's not porn, I suppose. We will do it.
Yeah, as long as we can find it.
As long as we can find it.
And yeah, it's not too
graphic.
Like, it has to be at least internet friendly.
Exactly.
I guess porn is technically, but no, we're not going to do porn.
So porn is what we're not going to do. That's where we draw the line.
Basically.
And at the $10 level, you will actually have all the benefits that you get from the first and third tier, but you'll also get exclusive videos, and you will have all the videos that are out on the YouTube channel. You will have sneak previews of. And then there is a $20 level, which is mostly just bragging rights, because at that point you are considered an executive producer of not only this podcast but the channel. So you'll get all the benefits that the other tiers get, but you'll also have your name connected to the show. But that's it. If you just want to support us in other ways without money involved, you can of course subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, all those places, and spread the word, of course.
Twitter, Insta, the Buy Me a Coffee, everything is on our link tree.
Yes, there is a link tree. So please check that out. But enough shilling. Let's actually get into the discussion for the day, which is Don't Let the Devil In.
Yes.
And this is a movie
2016 horror thriller.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, well, almost like horror drama thriller.
Yeah.
Or I guess drama thriller horror?
Yeah, if you want to put them in like the order of what it is more.
Yes.
Yes.
This was a movie I'd never heard about before.
No, me neither.
It's a very small production.
I was trying to find how much money they had, but I haven't found it yet.
No. I didn't see any like SAG-AFTRA or CSA in the credits. I'm pretty sure this isn't like a unionized movie. So then, those kind of details are, hard to come by. It's a fully independent project, released by the infamous releasing or distribution company, Brain Damage Films, which has released some real stinkers over the years. If you're familiar with Red Letter Media, you'll know about Bloodlock, which is one of them. Anyway, right. So we should just do this like we usually do. This isn't a movie we've watched before, though, so I'll just ask you right away. What did you think of the movie?
Well, it had I kind of liked the script, to be honest. The story, like, it would have been a good movie, but god damn, the budget must have been low, because it just looked like something you did back in the days.
Yeah, but my stuff would look worse because I didn't have any grown-ups playing the parts. I only had teenagers. So
yeah,
at least they had that.
True. But I'm not sure the actors were very good.
No, and that's
They
what I.
kind of felt like community theater actors that finally got to be in a movie, sort
Yeah,
of.
and that's what I read in the comments because this movie I didn't find anywhere where you could pay for it, but it was on YouTube for free, so that's where I
Oh,
watched it.
that's nice. Yeah, that's
I'm
where I
sure you
watched
could rent
it
it
too.
somewhere, but um, it's right there if you just type in "Don't let the devil in," you can watch it. Anyway, I read some of the comments. I think the comments were on the trailer, but still, like I caught this a few months ago, and it's a pretty cool story. But if you're an actor critic, stay away. Like yeah, I
Yeah,
get why they're bad, and not just like oh they're not like a trained actor, so they're kind of like so. No, they're bad.
they're actually bad.
Um,
Like
es-
all
es-
of them, basically.
especially the guy. What's his name? The
Uh,
character.
the main guy,
Yeah,
Martin,
is that him?
I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Anthony J. Anastasio. Dear Lord, he. I mean, I don't want to blame him completely. This probably has something to do with the director as well, who because the director isn't really known for his like fictional work. He mostly he does shorts, but other than that he does
Yeah, they're
documentaries.
short.
Courtney Fathom Sell, um, because he was so flat in
Yeah,
like every scene. He didn't his expression never changed. His tone or candor never changed. It was like, oh my god, why did they attack you, my wife? Like, well, I guess we're gonna have to go on the run now. Or oh my god, there is a devil cult in this town. Like, emote, motherfucker.
yeah.
Use
To
your voice.
to be fair,
Yeah.
all of these people, basically, every single one in this movie, except for Mr. Taylor,
Uh huh.
seem to have been in only this movie.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe one other. The guy who played Yeti, he's been in one other
Yeah.
14 years earlier.
Okay. Well, yeah. Conrad Brooks. He plays one of the townspeople. We haven't really said what it's about, but we'll get to that. He's actually been in some stuff. He's actually in Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is kind of cool. The original bad movie.
Yeah.
So that's
In a bunch of movies, all the way back to like the 50s.
yeah, because that's when Plan 9 was made. And he has worked with Tim Burton in Ed Wood when they made the movie about Plan 9. So, but yeah, let's let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's actually what is the movie about?
Well, not entirely sure. No, but it's about this couple who has they suffer a miscarriage in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, or
And
they've
or
just
have
suffered a
just
miscarriage,
yeah.
I suppose. Yeah.
And while sort of trying to figure out what to do about it and how to cope with it, they well the husband Martin, I think it's Martin at least,
Yeah.
he gets offered an opportunity to like move to the countryside for a few months to oversee the construction of a
Construction
new
of a
casino, I
casino. Yeah,
think.
a casino. It's going to be in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, which sounds kind of weird, but
Yeah.
anyway. Well,
So
Appalachia is not the Midwest.
him and his wife, they're like, yeah, maybe that could be good for us
To get away.
to get away, get a new start.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't actually catch that they were gonna stay there for a while. I was like, okay, maybe it's a week.
No, but he's going
But
to
then they
over.
packed up everything.
Yeah, no, but he was. They say he's going to oversee the
Construction?
yeah, but the construction hasn't even started. He's still there to get
The
like
breaking of grounds.
the breaking of grounds and get the project like going. So they'll be there. I always thought of like for the foreseeable future, like maybe even like a year or something.
Yeah, okay. So I didn't catch that at first, but
No.
it did dawn on me eventually.
But that is also a precursor to a problem this movie has, that details aren't important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's just glossed over, like, hey, whatever. Like how
And
long are they gonna be there? What is he actually gonna do there? We don't know. And like you can say that's not important for the story. No, but it's important to establish, the setting at least.
yeah, to understand
Like
why
why?
the things
What?
that are happening are so disturbing to them. Why they not just like pick up their things and leave? Because no, he has a work commitment. But
Yeah.
if you don't understand that, then you just think they're stupid, which they kind of are. Still,
Yes. So they get to this town, and yeah, like in many movies, the townsfolk ain't too kind to them city folk.
specifically because they know what he's there to do.
Yes, yes. Which is also an that's an interesting, not twist, but interesting little extra detail, because it is basically a typical, city people go out into the sticks and get attacked by the crazy hillbillies.
Yeah,
Maybe not like the Hills of Ice, but more like what's it called? Oh no, with Dustin Hoffman. Um,
I'm not sure which one you're referring.
oh no, what's it called? My mind.
Your
Uh,
mind.
oh, what's it called? Not Stray Dogs. What the hell is it called? I gotta look this up. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Well, it's not as horrifying as the Hills of Ice. It's not like the weird outcast people. It's just,
No, it's
a
it's a
small
small
town.
town. A small town. Yeah.
And of course, they've heard about city folks being all stuck up and they think they're better than them
Straw
and all that.
dogs. Straw dogs. Thank you.
Straw dogs,
More
right.
of a straw dog situation. It's
Yeah.
it's a city. They're not like crazy people living in a cave. They're just
No. It's just a
country
small
folk.
town. Yeah, and they're simple people who just want to keep things the way they were.
Yeah.
And then along comes the city folk who's buying up people's farms and houses and are tearing them down to build a
A
casino in their
casino. Yeah.
small, humble little. I
Mountain
don't know. I
town.
want. Yeah, I want to call it something like. Yeah, I can't think of a word. Yeah, mountain town, just small town,
Yeah. Ro-
village almost.
Well, no, it's a
Nah,
town. I mean, they
yeah,
have
it is
paved roads and stuff. It's a town.
true. True. That
um,
also though, that kind of I didn't get that at first either.
what do you
Because
mean?
the city, the town, um, scenes when they're like at the pub and he walks around town,
Yeah.
looks like they're in. It could be like a big town. It
Like
kind of
like a
reminded me of
suburb.
like Stockholm at times.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it probably was. I mean, when you see they have some drone shots of the town, and it's
Yeah,
a big place. There's probably a few thousand people living there. It's not like a small town like they
no,
want it to be. It's big.
which
Um,
makes sense with the casino then I guess. But then when you get all the
yeah, but yeah, it doesn't work.
interior shots, it doesn't work because they all feel like it's just like 1,000 people in 10 buildings.
Yeah, they wanted it to be the town, where it's so small that everyone knows everybody.
Yeah,
Everyone goes to church. There's like maybe 100 people living there, but it's obviously filmed in like a big proper town.
yeah.
But I
Maybe
mean,
this is the outskirts of it, I guess.
yeah, but they're you gotta say, for budgetary reasons, they worked with what they had, and I think that's
True.
fine.
Sure.
Um, and
It
so
just confused me a bit and didn't sell the story properly or set the tone properly.
yeah, yeah. Um,
That was like the main issue I had with this movie. It had the storyline, sure, but it didn't sell it.
no,
It didn't like set the tone and actually sell in the issues
and
because
that's
you got distracted by random stuff like they got caught up on the phone line. It's like just shut up about the damn phone lines. We got it.
yeah, that's an easy fix that they do in a lot of horror movies, like when they actually get out into the woods. It's like, oh damn, I don't have any. Does anyone have a signal? And then you
Yeah.
drop that, because then they can't call the cops. But yeah,
Yeah.
it came up constantly that they didn't have cell phones. Say, oh, the landline is down. We get it. You're isolated. We get it.
Yeah.
And it had
But then
all.
again, you're in the middle of a big city. Going to town. Don't talk to the local sheriff.
Yeah.
Just go into town and find someone else to talk to.
But it's supposed to feel like a small town.
Yeah, but, see that's where it kind of put you out of the.
The immersion was broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But I think it actually managed to set the mood from time to time.
Sure.
Like there are a lot of the shots in the trailer, which the trailer made me think it was going to be much better. I gotta say, I was actually expecting this to be like not like an amazing movie, but at least be like interesting movie. Just needed a bigger budget,
Yeah.
And because the trailer had some really good shots. It had some of the drone shots, which just it's when people started using drone shots, which I think the first time I saw that in a like small budget movie was 2014, a movie called Spring. That was like drones had been around for a while, but nobody had really thought about using them. I mean, at least that I'd seen using them for like aerial shots in indie movies, because indie movies were always like they were stuck to the ground unless they for some reason like knew someone with a chopper or spent all their money on renting a chopper. But that's a great way to add production value to your movie. Like we can have sweeping shots of the town with our drone, and those work. I like those, and the shots of the town at night when which are like I think they're sped up, so the mist seems to like almost run through the city, and it almost looks because of all the street lights. It looks like the city's on fire almost.
Yeah.
Those shots were great.
Yeah, they were pretty.
Yeah. And I loved those shots. And I loved, there were some shots even later in the movie where the town was like covered in thick mist. And that was not like a smoke machine kind of mist, like real mist. And it looked really cool.
They stood there waiting for days to find the mist.
Yeah, it was the Ingmar Bergman moment when they're filming. I think they were filming Fanny Alexander, and he just stood looking at the clouds. Now, like people say that he stood there for hours, but probably didn't. But there's a shot from there's a shot in I don't know the documentary, but it's a documentary about him where he's just standing looking at the clouds, and you see him take his little lens thing and like, no, go, and he just starts running towards the camera.
Just now.
Go, it's right, go. Yeah, something like that. I hope that's what they did.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sort of.
But then, yes, the immersion is quickly ruined, like when you get to the interior shots, because it all just looks like
specifically their house.
Yeah, because they want it to look like run down, but it just looks like a house.
Yeah.
Not like a new, fresh house, but not like a spooky run down house. It just looks like a house nobody's lived in for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's probably the case.
Left it a bit dirty.
Yeah, they knew someone who was trying to sell a house. It had been empty for 2 months, but like, yeah, you can film in here, sure. No one's buying it.
We just need it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Even that.
And the bar, it doesn't look like a weird, creepy, like old timey bar. It just looks like a room with a bar in it.
Kind of looks like a library.
the
for
bar?
Some reason. Yeah, because you only see it from 2 angles, and I just got the feeling that they put a bar in a room in like the local library.
I think it's that would be too much work. They'd rather just go to a shitty bar and film there.
Guess. But I just wanted it to be more of like the classic old-timey London bars, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
like you see in any movie that has like a Fisher town, whatever.
Yeah, and that's probably what they wanted to go for. The problem is they didn't have the budget to build any of it.
And they were filming it locally, probably, so they took what they had, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but most of that's, like we said, that's budgetary stuff, and you can't really knock it for not having a budget. These people, they made a fucking movie. That's more than we've... Well, okay, I've technically made a movie, but not on this level. Not even on this level. No. But then there are problems with, like we said, the premise is good. It's a classic premise, but with a bit of a twist, because it's not crazy hillbillies. It's something else. It's in the beginning we don't even know if there is like a cult or anything. They're hinting at maybe he's crazy, maybe it is a cult, maybe we're not sure what's actually going on, which I found interesting because stuff is going on. They find symbols in their house. People are sneaking around. Several people like say you should leave. This town is dangerous, and not like we're gonna get you, but we're like, no, you should leave. It's dangerous.
And people won't like you. So.
Yeah, like we're only here because we're stuck here, basically.
Yeah.
And then to add that he's not there just because he's an outsider. He's actually there to disrupt their lives, basically, by buying all the land, and they're going to build a casino and stuff. So that adds another layer to the cliche of city people and townsfolk.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not handled well.
No.
Because I think the first 20 minutes of the movie is them getting to the house, immediately discovering like weird stuff in the basement, and then the mother or whatever,
The wife.
the wife, sorry, having
Technically isn't a mother.
no, yeah, having like weird hallucinations and seeing stuff, and there's no like setup of the town before the weird stuff starts happening. That happens after the weird stuff starts happening. Like half an hour or 40 minutes into the movie, that's when we see him actually go to the old guy and talk to him about buying his land.
Yeah.
And like, why didn't it start with this?
Yeah, they put him in the wrong order.
Yeah, the movie, it feels like it was edited in the wrong order. Like
that would have given us more of a it would have shown us, not told us, that the townspeople won't like them.
Exactly, because you're trying to buy my land, mister. I won't let you. Well, I have this contract that says we own the land anyway. We're just being nice.
Being kind enough. Yeah. Instead, we have the first character they meet in the town saying, "Well, people ain't gonna like you."
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. But
thank you.
Why? I mean, well, we know why because we know they're.
You know why.
But I mean, you have to still set it up in the movie. That's storytelling 101. Set up.
Yes.
And then
in movies, show not tell.
Yes, exactly. And then the movie continues to like jump between weird like psychological horror stuff with the wife, and there's like kind of a there becomes like a distance between them. They're like pulled apart a little bit because he tries to handle the work stuff, and he's the one that has to mostly interact with the townsfolk, and she's stuck in the house, still traumatized from losing the baby, and they start bickering, and then all of a sudden it cuts to like, another scene where like I'm gonna talk to these people in the bar, like it's the first time he's walking into the bar and people want to like, oh, I know what you're doing here, mister. Like, yeah, we no, you already told us. You don't have to have this scene again. I think that happens 3 times where he walks into a cafe or a bar or like some other place and people are like, we don't like you. We know what you're doing. Like, yes. Yeah. Of course we know, and you know.
The last time is when it's like 15 minutes left of the movie.
Yeah, it's when he starts running through the tunnel. Yeah. Now it's like 15-20 minutes left. Yeah.
Like, yes. That's what yes, we know.
You don't have to tell us now.
Already done.
Yeah. And then they are hinting at that there is some sort of religious or anti-Christian cult going on with the priest, because there is the scene where the priest comes home to them, and he talks something about, well, they hint at the title because they're down in the basement. He shows him the pentagram that was painted, and he says, "Oh, you shouldn't worry about stuff like that." And he says something like, "Oh well,
you shouldn't let them in or something."
Yeah, exactly. The husband says,
"Enter your house." Yeah. Never let, whatever, something like that.
And then the priest says, "But you've already let me in." And it's like, oh, what?
You?
Yeah, that was like, oh, okay. So there's something there. But then the priest disappears, and he's not in the movie until the very end, where, there was a cult, and they want to
Yeah.
sacrifice the wife and a,
They
and a
could have.
baby, or
Yeah, I don't
they want
know.
to put
I
the
didn't.
baby in her, or
I'm not sure, to be honest. I kind of got like Rosemary's Baby vibes that they were like trying to put the devil's baby in her.
yeah,
That didn't seem to be what they were doing exactly.
and
And at first, I kind of got like Hot Fuss vibes that they were just trying to keep the pretty town looking pretty. Don't come and ruin it.
yeah. Well,
Well, with trying to scare him off, like
yeah.
in Hot
I
Fuzz.
don't know what that whole sacrifice scene was, but it was funny that the husband finds it because he gets a note from the waitress at the cafe
Yeah.
from nowhere. We've never seen her before. He's never been in there before, but she gives him a note.
She's
Like
talking about
everyone
his
knows
wife
about
to him.
this, because there's no hints other than the pentagram, and then the end. There's no hints that there's actually some crazy stuff, crazy religious stuff going on. But
No,
then,
it's just people actually telling him that we don't like you, and obviously the doctor is telling people about his secret problems and
all right, because he goes to see a psychiatrist,
uh,
which yeah, gossips about his PTSD, and
and
the
inability to please his wife.
yes, which is a big thing. Everyone keeps telling him like, oh, maybe she left you because when she disappears, she's like gone for
Yeah.
like a day, and he just seems like not like bothered at all. He's just walking around. Like maybe she left you because you couldn't please her like a man.
You couldn't give her that hard loving.
The hard loving, right? Like
Like
what?
what?
And it's also weird because she disappears. He talks to the police about it, I think, and then he's just like, "Oh well, I guess I'll never find her," and goes to the cafe.
Yeah, because the police says like, well, maybe she left you. She didn't disappear. She left you.
Yeah,
And he's like, okay,
and
I'll go
that's
drink.
yeah. I'll buy a bottle and drink, and
The
I
next morning, I go to the cafe, and then, okay.
it's so weird. Like the drinking scene should have been because they were like yelling at each other in the kitchen in one scene. That should be when he left, started drinking, and then she got attacked. But instead, he starts drinking after she got attacked. And I was like, shouldn't you be looking for your wife?
Yeah.
Like, I know.
Well, he didn't realize that she was gone. Maybe.
I
I feel like they cut it a bit odd, and then
yes.
they didn't like certain things could have been explained more clearly because there is the like you said there's the scene where they find the kitchen. She walks off and like closes the door to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Then she stands by the bedroom door, hand on the handle, actually like waiting for him to follow her, and he decides to not, and he walks out to go get drunk,
Right.
and that's when she gets taken. But he wakes up the next he wakes up in the jail,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna keep you here because people want to kill you, basically. The
Yeah.
drunkards in the
Which another thing,
will
the
kill
sheriff
you.
says that the citizens want to kill you. I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm just gonna send you home.
I'm
Oh,
just not gonna let them, and I'm not gonna put you in the same cage as them. That's all I'm gonna do.
and
Like,
then
oh, thank
the
you.
best thing is
I guess.
he's been sleeping it off, not in the drunk tank, but in the police station. And then the sheriff gives him his bottle, like a man could
Yeah.
use a drink when his wife's missing. Like, no, you just arrested him for being drunk.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's just a little detail, but still,
And then all
it's
of a
funny.
sudden he's at the. I don't think he actually goes home.
No, he goes to the. He starts walking around.
Yeah. And then he's the next morning and he's in the cafe.
Yeah, and he gets the note, looks at the note, and that's where you have the nice shot with the mist behind him.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's the one time he's like, huh? Actually looks like he's acting, and looks at the note and starts running. But then he stops running after a while. He runs to the
He goes back to
tunnel
another bar.
and goes to another bar, where the lady says, "Can you buy me a drink? I don't have any money." And she lures
Just
him
talks
outside.
about his,
where
yeah, she talks about her missing baby. And
oh
then
right,
they
yeah,
walk outside, and the guys who've been harassing him for the last hours, I guess it's them who, because they left just before them.
yeah. They show up in
They
a
show up in
car.
a car, and then you have the slaughter scene. I think no, that's when he all of a sudden he's beat up. See,
Yeah,
it's
that's when he
so
starts walking around.
choppy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so choppy that you can't even like remember what order things happen.
and
Is that when he
that's when
goes
he
to all
walks
the
because we see
phone
those
towers?
scenes. Yeah, that's when we see him walking around in the beginning of the movie, all beaten up, and that's the scenes from the morning when he wakes up beaten up, and that's when he remembers. Oh right, my wife, and looks at the
Yeah.
note and runs to the place where I'm guessing there's an address on the note. No, he goes
Yeah.
home and finds Yeti, Mr. Yeti, the kooky guy,
Yeah, he's dead in the
dead,
basement.
and he buries his, or is that before? Because he
I
buries the
he,
body, and
well, he
there's
drags it out at least.
yeah, and there's a note scribbled in blood saying like follow the bleeder. And I don't think like, do they mean bleeder
Is
as in
that
a woman because she's menstruating and has to do with babies?
Ugh.
I don't know. I'm just thinking because follow the bleeder. If they're talking about the body, he's not going anywhere. How is he gonna follow the bleeder if it's the body?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was he pointing in a direction or something? I didn't
Anyway,
think. See, it's a very confusing movie.
yeah, he figures out where
His
I
wife
guess
is.
his wife is supposed to be, goes there, sees that they're going to sacrifice her or something with a baby. There's a sword and a baby and black robes and
And an
candlelight.
axe.
Yeah, and he looks at him like, huh? Huh? Not like, oh my god, I gotta do something. He just stands there like, huh? What's going on? And then cut to the morning after. They're running or walking through the woods with the baby, and
The baby, because you hear the baby, right?
you hear the
I
baby.
don't
Yeah, no,
you
you
see
you see they're holding like a little thing,
Okay,
you
yeah,
know, but
yeah.
it's probably just a doll, so they didn't want to show the face.
Yeah.
And
And they're all
then
bloody.
yes, they're bloody. Well, she had satanic symbols painted with blood on her, but he has blood
True.
on him because I guess he killed them all to
Yeah,
save
they
the
kind of
wife.
hint at it eventually.
They kind of hint, yeah, because then they go back
When
to the
he's back in
town
the city.
or the city,
No,
yeah,
when they're back in New York.
back in New York, which is the city where they used to live.
Yeah.
And he talks to his boss and like, oh, you did great work down there. The casino is on its way to be built, and we really wanted you to have this new job where you have more flexibility and better pay and blah blah blah. And then his boss just casually hints at like, say, some people, what is a police officer or the sheriff or something,
Yeah.
another sheriff is starting up an investigation looking for some missing people.
Yeah, the officer Suzanne, his like brother.
His brother, who is some county sheriff or something, not just
Yeah,
a
he's the
local
county
sheriff.
sheriff.
Yeah,
He
because there were some people that went missing right before you left. One of them was a priest. Do you know anything about that? And he's like, no. Why would I do that? And his boss just says, hey, man. Like
we all do crazy things.
we all do
sometimes.
crazy things, and covering up something like this could be hard, but we'll help you. Like, wait,
Here's our lawyer.
wait, what are you saying? Okay, and then he mentioned like,
Oh.
and then it's like, I always knew you had the devil in you. And it's like, oh, okay. So then,
So you
Was-
can.
was the company sending him there to like kill the people who didn't want to like sell their land, or?
Is
and
it
then- yeah,
get land at any price?
Yeah, and then he says, and here's the guy who's going to be working under you.
Our new company lawyer. Or
Yeah,
something.
I'm sure you're gonna be you're gonna be fast friends, and it's the psychiatrist from the town. You're like, oh, like is he the devil then who's controlling him? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. I didn't understand the ending.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so it's supposed to be, we're not really sure what's happening. It's supposed to be mystery, but it's
Sure,
not,
you got us there.
yeah, but it's not like intriguing. Like, oh man, wait, if I go back, am I gonna figure it out? No, you're not, because the editing is a mess. So instead, you
Yeah.
just feel like frustrated when the movie ends. Unfortunately.
Yeah. But
So-
again, like we said in the beginning, it's got a promising script. Like the idea is promising. You could definitely do an interesting story about two city folks coming to a small town. They're gonna, for the company, buy up the lands and start building whatever.
Yeah.
But then, something else is going on in this town. Maybe skip the part where like they blatantly tell you that everyone hates you.
Yeah.
Maybe instead make them extra nice because, hey, like the neighbors in Rosemary's Baby,
Yeah.
they were kind of waiting for someone to be their sacrifice. Let's take her so we don't have to take one of the locals.
Yeah. Um, but
That would have probably worked better.
but then
But
you
then, of
have,
course, had some people be slightly annoyed that he's trying to buy their particular land
yeah, of course.
or properties.
And then, but then you have little nuggets, like I said, the mood, but also the fact that, which is, it, I almost want to call it pretentious, but it isn't really because it's actually done pretty well. If you think about it, the movie starts with them losing a baby, and it ends with them
Getting a baby.
getting or saving a baby. Where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's
That's a
nice.
nice full circle
It's a
thing.
nice touch, yeah, nice full circle thing. Um, and then which I just find like it was like, huh, nice. Not a good like filmmaking thing, but there's a lot of references to Silent Hill. I don't know if you or not. That's
I
but
don't
there are
remember
some.
Silent Hill enough, to be
Oh,
honest.
okay.
It's
So
been too
like,
long since I saw that last.
yeah, no, I'm thinking more of the games. Well, the movie as well, because the
Yeah, well,
first.
the games is even longer since.
Yeah, no, but the fact that there's this constant mist, not constant, but there is a lot of mist
Yeah.
in the town. Yeah, you have missing children, and then they mention, which is specifically from the movie, they mention that the ground underneath the town is hollow because
Yeah.
there's mining shafts everywhere, and there's this hint that maybe they dug too far because you see him running
Ghosts
through
are down
mining
there.
tunnels, and maybe that's why the devil is there, which is kind of what's happening in the Silent Hill movie, and the whole
Yes.
thing with sacrificing children to appease this darkness that is going on. Um, so that was interesting if it wasn't so blatantly ripped off from Silent Hill, unfortunately.
Well, there's not that many missing children, so and they're actually looking for a child to sacrifice, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
Or are they sacrificing the child?
I don't know. They
I'm
put
not
the
actually
child
sure.
on her. They put she's strung up on a whatever a table. They put the baby on her belly, and they hold a
Yeah.
knife over it. I'm supposing they're gonna stab them both. No.
Well, yeah, maybe they wanted a pregnant lady, so they took the next best thing, a recently born and a recently been pregnant lady.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
In proper like devil worshipping, that wouldn't count.
No, no, it has to be an
Devil
unborn
would have been
baby.
like very mad at
It
that
must be a
because
fetus.
yeah,
But then also the little touch of that we're not sure. Like, oh, there's a devil worshipping cult, but since the husband is suffering from PTSD, and coupled with what happens in the end in the meeting, maybe there wasn't a cult. Maybe he just killed
yeah,
people and
maybe
thought there
he
was a
just
cult.
crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe she was crazy too. We don't
yeah,
know.
nice detail, but kind of they needed to flesh it out a little more instead of just
Yeah,
having it in the last two scenes of the movie.
yeah, yeah. They should have added the cult in more with more details to the cult.
Yeah,
Not just the pentagram, and then all of a sudden there's a dead body, and the priest is acting weird. There
yeah,
needs to be more hints. Maybe I don't know. Notice that there's a symbol in every bar and whatever, or
yeah, yeah. And for a movie that
something.
has so much exposition in the beginning, I mean, we when they arrive to the town, we don't see anything of the town. We just get dialogue from them like, oh my god, these people are so backwoods. Oh, they're not gonna like us. This town is creepy. Instead of showing us, they're just telling us. And it was so annoying to hear them just talk and talk and talk. For a movie that has that much exposition, why didn't they just add more then? Like, and actually flesh out some of the more interesting ideas of the story, like the cult,
Have the
like the mining
have the
stuff. Have the
Yeti tell them more about like
yeah,
the
or have the
weird noises
wife
in the night or
ju-
something.
just to make the wife more involved in the story because she's kind of not there for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Have her go to the library. She goes out on the town, maybe looking in some stores or going shopping, just going shopping. Like, and maybe she gets like dirty looks or people don't want to talk to her, something like that. And then she goes to a library and she
Reads
reads
up on the history.
reads up on the history because she thinks this place is weird.
Maybe she
Something. So we get
actually goes to the
something.
church to like get because the priest comes over and is like, maybe your wife needs to come talk to me at the church
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I know you've
exactly.
been seeing a psychiatrist, so maybe she can get a priest instead. Maybe add that in before he gets creepy and like. have him say weird stuff to her, try and convert her into becoming a cult member or something.
Yes. Yes. I'm getting
Disguising it as Christianity, I guess, but
yeah. I'm getting the feeling like I don't know why I just thought about it just with this movie, because we always do this when it comes to bad movies. We like say you should have done this instead of this.
Yeah.
Hindsight, like I gotta say, the hindsight is 2020.
Of course.
So
Of course.
I don't know why I wanted to mention it. I just like, oh, I'm being so mean to this movie. I don't know why.
But that's why when you write something, you write it and then you edit it and then you basically rewrite it to get the right thing eventually.
Yes, and that's what
Same with
was.
when you're taking pictures. You never take just one picture. You take one picture and you look at it and take another one, or you take 10 pictures and look at them and then take another one.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to.
and that's what I was thinking as well. Like, I don't think they wrote several drafts of this
No.
script. This feels like a first draft. Like they had
They
the
had
general
plot,
story,
yeah,
and
and then
yeah,
they
we'll
just
go with that.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah, it feels like it.
So
I'm trying to because we mentioned that the writer and director, he's done a lot of things,
yeah,
mostly shorts
yeah,
and documentaries.
yeah.
I'm trying to I think this is his one of his very few, or if not the only. No, it's the second full-length movie.
Okay,
It seems like, if I'm not missing something. The first one was Satan Hold My Hand in 2013. Does he have a thing for the devil?
maybe.
Because a lot of his movies are horror movies, and
Maybe
they
that's
mention the devil.
his obsession. Like we talked about when we talked about Pi.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Darren Aronofsky is obsessed with religion, or like the idea of religion, or like
Yeah.
a higher being, and Christopher Nolan is obsessed with the concept of time. Maybe his obsession is the devil.
Yeah, or just
Something, I don't know.
horror in general. Because yeah, he's only made two full-length movies: Satan Hold My Hand and Don't Let the Devil In.
Okay, what's Satan Hold My
Everything
Hand about?
I'm checking it. Two innocent Catholic schoolgirls are abducted by a group of stoner Satanists, I can say,
Satanists.
and prepared for the ultimate sacrifice. Unfortunately, Satan isn't as evil as they imagined.
What? That sounds funny.
What?
He shows up, but have you brought my sacrifices? Yes, oh mighty powerful Satan. We got you two virgins. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was asking for like chickens or something. Guys,
Yeah.
you can't just kidnap women like that. What? Are you crazy? The cops are going to be after you.
Yeah. I have to look something up because the poster for Satan Hold My Hand
Uh-huh.
has the to sell it has the line from the creator of HBO's Bored to Death. Is it
What?
the writer? Is it Reverend Jen Miller who wrote Bored to Death?
Bored to Death is a pretty good show. Maybe someone like was an executive producer, line producer, and they knew him and they wanted to put his name on it, or I don't know. Or did what's his name? Courtney Fathom sell sort of work on Bored to Death? I don't see it in here.
No, me neither. I'm like, what? Where did they just write that to?
Maybe he was like a, maybe he was like an, like, let's see here. Art director, no. Visual effects, no. Sound department, no. Actor, no.
Is it the writer then?
Writer, did he write
Reverend
Bored
Jen
to
Miller.
Death?
Is that the person who worked on um Bored to Death?
I don't know. I have no idea. Um,
Doesn't look like it's whatever. Weird. That was a weird tagline to add just to
yeah.
sell.
Well, Satan Hold My Hand has, I was going to say more famous people in it, but not really. They had Janine Garofalo, a comedian, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I gotta say, Satan Hold My Hand, I kind of want to watch that movie.
Maybe we'll see. Oh, I mean, you can always watch it. We'll see if I watch it if
Yeah.
we do it for this, or if you just watch it in private.
Let's see here. Well, one of the producers of Satan Hold My Hand, Jonathan Ames, was a writer. Whoa. He was the writer of
For
Bored to Death, Blunt Talk, Great Buck Howard, which is like, okay, whatever. But it also
okay,
says
so
that he was
that's
the
right.
writer of You Were Never Really Here, which is a great movie. Like,
So
seriously.
Jonathan Ames.
Jonathan Ames. It says that he wrote You Were Never Really Here with Lynn Ramsey, the director of that movie. That is an amazing movie. So if that's true, now I really want to watch Satan Hold My Hand. I
Maybe
mean,
it's worth it.
he's only producing it, but still,
Maybe you can add a touch of professionalism to it.
yeah,
'Cause
something.
that is basically what this movie, what Don't Let the Devil In lacked. It lacked some sort of professionalism.
Yeah,
It just looked like some sort of high school project.
yes, and
Who the kids borrowed some dad's very expensive camera.
yeah, I made a movie.
Well, not very expensive, pretty
Sort of
expensive. 'Cause
expensive.
it's not the best quality.
No, I gotta
Even
say
for
though,
2016.
the quality of the footage, I mean, like the technical quality of it, that stopped bothering me after a while. I didn't like, oh,
Yeah,
this looks flat, or the
but in
the
the beginning,
yeah, in
it
the
was
beginning, yeah, and
very.
what did annoy me was the lighting. The lighting was terrible sometimes,
Everything was
especially
orange.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't have a studio light at all, it seemed. They just turned on the ceiling lights and just went with it.
or I, at least in some scenes, I think they only had studio lights and had no natural light. So they
Maybe.
get these, because there's some scene where they're sitting against the wall and she's sad over something. I think it's after she sees someone in the kitchen window, and
Yeah.
what was I saying? They're sitting down by a wall, and there's these harsh shadows being cast from two different. You can see there's two different shadows being cast right behind them, and it's like if you have a softbox that I have here in the studio, and you only use that and you put it right up against the actors, you get these harsh shadows on the
Yeah.
wall. That's not
I turned
right.
up a bit too much.
Yeah, that's not the kind of lighting that you have in a house,
No.
No. But yeah, that's you know those are the kind of details you can't really be bothered with
Can,
too much. You can,
but
but you have to
I
kind
guess
of overlook those. But then
yeah.
this movie did have legitimate problems, a lot of
Yeah.
legitimate problems. Like,
The one thing though that kind of threw me off that it would be this low budget, bad quality was the poster.
the poster was pretty
The
good.
the blue poster. Not the red one that you see on
Oh,
IMDb
oh
or the
yeah,
one that we've used. But the blue poster, I thought that was for another movie at first, but no. It's for this, I think.
yes. It's the poster for the trailer, and but do you know where that poster comes from? That's from
No.
either Brain Damage Films or the other company that like put their name on it, because that's a great trick to sell a movie. Like you have this dirt cheap movie, and then you as a company spend like maybe $1,000, and you pay some artist to make a really cool poster for the movie. It doesn't even really have anything to do with the movie. Like that poster
No.
has nothing to do with the movie. It's a lady in a nightgown, and she looks like she's possessed. I guess
Yeah.
oh, it's devil possession and a lady,
It
so
doesn't
it's
even look like
technically
the wife.
not exactly, but
But
it's technically in the movie because there's devils and there's a lady, and then you can sell it with that poster.
yeah, and the tagline on the movie as well, fear what hides in the shadows, doesn't make sense really,
No,
because the only time they mention like that something's in the shadows is when she points out the kitchen window and goes like, I could see the eyes,
yeah. Well, that's all they needed for a tagline.
I guess.
That's actually there's a company in the '80s called Canon Films that actually they made posters for movies before a script was even written. Like they had a title for a cool movie and maybe a concept because they were two brothers or two cousins who started
Yeah,
a
so they
production
could like
company.
say it's a horror film where the devil's worshipped. They're like, okay,
Yeah, a small town with a devil cult that sacrifices babies and mothers, and we have this cool poster. Now, give us your money so we can make the movie. Like,
yeah,
oh, okay. Okay.
yeah. Because if you Google search, first of all, you can't just Google search "Don't Let the Devil In." You get a lot of other stuff. You
Yeah,
have to Google search "Don't Let the Devil In" movie.
movie. Yeah, I know.
You find the DVD cover, which has this cool blue. Um, just realizing now, upside down world poster thingy. The girl who's floating, she's technically upside down because there's trees at the top.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
And then this red one that we've used is the back
Oh, okay.
of the DVD cover. But then if you scroll down after you click that one, you see all these other posters about devil movies where it's basically the same. It's just the
Yes.
scary font, the red or the blue, and a girl
Yes.
in some sort of weird setting.
Yeah.
Birds, trees, or a well.
That's how you sell
That
a movie.
yeah, that's how it's a movie, I guess.
If you don't have a good movie, that's how you sell it.
It's like book covers not fitting the book. It's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like romance novels
Yeah.
where like you have a hunky dude and some scantily clad woman on the cover.
Maiden who feels that she's like dying in his arms,
Yeah, and
sort of.
you're basically buying the book for the cover
Yeah.
because then the story is kind of like whatever.
There's no story. It's just
Have you
description.
have you ever read any of those romance novels?
No, I do have one. It's not mine technically, because when I started dating my boyfriend, he had one of those books in his bookshelf. I was like, "Why do you have that?" And he doesn't remember why when he bought it even. So I'm guessing maybe someone left it, like
I
something.
I actually just as a joke bought one like a few years ago. I was with a friend in a big grocery store like IKEA Maxi, here in
Yeah,
Sweden. I guess Ralph's in America. Anyway,
maybe Target. I
Target
don't know.
maybe. Yeah. Anyway, Whole Foods. Um, and I was just like, you always see those novels. They're right
Yeah,
at the cashier because you're gonna grab it just as you grab like a
they're
magazine or whatever.
yeah they're by the magazines
Yeah.
basically.
And I was like, you always look at those and like, oh, these books they suck. But then I thought to myself, I've never read one. Maybe they don't suck. And I bought one, and without even realizing there was 3 books in one. And I read the first one. Well, I half read the first one. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
Wasn't it just like a very much describing the male character in
No.
detail?
I gotta say, it's not like that. It's not like smut. It's
Okay.
not. It's not like that. It's very PG-13.
Huh.
Because it's supposed to be for like sensitive ladies. They don't want like the gory details, so to speak.
No, but maybe you want to have ugh, there's a word for it, but like you describe something with another word. I'm just thinking of that scene from Friends
Metaphors.
when metaphors, thank you. When Joey finds Rachel's book.
Oh yeah, no. That's a pornographic novel. That's
Oh, okay,
different.
fine,
These are
fine,
romance novels. They're more
fine.
like Twilight. Twilight is basically a romance novel.
Yeah, so they're not 50 Shades of Grey.
No.
God.
So I read half, and it's kind of boring. But I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I ever read.
So
So
it's just that the ladies want to read about the romance of getting
yes,
what's it called? Courted?
courted.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, so and that's the whole allegory to why they make a poster like that because it
Yeah.
sells the movie without actually
Intriguing.
watching the movie. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah, to be
overall,
fair, I've seen a lot of horror movies with awesome covers, and then the movie just sucks.
yeah, and an example of a great movie that has a poster that really oversells it though, is the first Evil Dead. Like all the posters for the original Evil Dead are like these super cool artistic shots. There's the one with the lady who's like being dragged into the ground with a dead hand around her
Oh
neck,
yeah.
or you have the painted one with with Ash holding the chainsaw over his head with blood over his face, and you see like a woman hiding behind him. Like nothing of that is in the movie. Nothing of that happens in the movie.
Army of Darkness. He's standing there with his ripped shirt, and she's
it looks like a Conan cover.
Yeah.
Nothing of that is in the movie, but it's just a way to sell the movie. Now,
it makes it look
fortunately, The Evil Dead is an amazing movie, so they didn't have to do that, but it is a way to sell the movie before anyone has seen the movie.
Yeah. Maybe they thought they needed it, so they
yes.
just in case. Because people are not going to get a movie that says Evil Dead unless it looks awesome.
Exactly.
Because, you do judge a book by its cover.
Sometimes you do.
No, well,
even though
real
you shouldn't.
books, you do judge a book by its cover, because if the cover isn't interesting, you're not going to flip it over and read the synopsis on the back.
Ah.
A lot of times, though. Specifically books.
But, do you have anything else to say about the movie?
I unfortunately don't have a lot of nice things to say or add. The music was kind of odd, mostly. At one point it did fit, but it just reminded me of some other film that's like, it seems like they just ripped that note or that sequence from another movie.
There was one like piano piece that I recognized from somewhere. I think they might have just used copyright-free music, and we might have heard it in like a YouTube video or something.
Probably. Or maybe another movie has used it as well.
Because I recognize that part. But then, the music, for the most part, it fit. But sometimes it could switch from one song to another without any like silence in between.
Yeah.
And it could be like na 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 na, all of a sudden.
It felt a bit choppy.
It felt very choppy. It didn't work at all.
No.
This was no Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which they do that all the time. But it kind of works in that movie.
Well, yeah, it works in certain things. In this one, no.
So
this is another one of those movies where we've done this before. We're like, if we could rewrite the script a little bit and re-edit the movie, it would be good. I think we said that to like what's it called, The Boy 2, Brahms or whatever.
Yeah, Brahms. Yeah, Boy 2.
That was one of the specific ones where we're like, bit for bit said what we would have changed.
Because that's also like a good idea that was completely wasted on a terrible movie. And this is a pretty good idea, not wasted, but not seen to its full potential because of limitations.
Probably.
And I'm not saying I could make it better. Well, if I had the money, but like in my situation, no, I couldn't.
No, we're always talking about having a better budget as well, of course.
But I would like to sit down and read the script and see if it's as confusing, or if it's just the editing that makes it confusing. I wonder if there's some way to get your hands on the script. I don't know. But that
shouldn't be possible. You can find some scripts online.
Yeah, but usually on scripts like this. I mean, I'll look for it, but either way.
He has a website. You can contact him.
Maybe I'll do that.
Director.
Maybe I'll do that. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Good idea. Wasted potential. Lost potential, I suppose.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it to anyone?
No.
No, not me neither.
I'm never gonna watch it again. I'm probably gonna forget about it in a few weeks. The only reason I might remember it sort of is because we're talking about it like this.
Yeah.
If I'd only seen it, then I would have just lost it eventually.
Yeah. I kind of wish it would have been worse. Because then it could have been one of those so bad that it's good movies that that people talk about on the internet, or like me and my friends watch,
You remember it for
being
the
terrible,
bad stuff, at least. Yeah, now we're just like, meh.
But now you can't even like, you can't even say, oh my god, you gotta check this out, it's so bad. Now
no,
it's just
not like Trolls 2.
Exactly. Like, oh my god, you gotta check this movie out, it's kind of boring, but not terrible. That doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
Anyway.
Unfortunately.
But, I think that's gonna have to be it.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone that wasn't That wasn't ironic. I just had to clear my throat. Thank you. I didn't mean like that. Thank you to everyone watching us live here on YouTube. If you're not watching us live on YouTube, hopefully you're listening to us on Spotify or iTunes or all those other ones, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. And
thank you again. Thank you as well for listening.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you as well for listening. And if you want to support the show, like we said before, be sure to check out the links to our Patreon, to our Buy Me a Coffee, or if you just want to spread the word, check out the Twitter, check out the Instagram, or just subscribe here on YouTube.
Comment, all those fun stuff.
All those things. But if you want
5 stars on iTunes or whatever.
Yeah. But if you want the extra episode every week, check it out on Patreon, $3 a month, and you get 2 episodes every week.
You could be the next movie. You could have recommended the next movie we talk about here on the 3 episodes.
Exactly. But that being said, until next week, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.